everyone, welcome back to our channel. For those of you who don't know who we are a Ross 4 UK based airsoft/milsim group. Today for you guys I have here my entire kit spread that I've packed for an upcoming 48-hour milsim I'm going to. And let's get into it and see what we have here today. So firstly, we're going to start with the weaponry, the fun stuff. What I have here is my E&L AK-74N. I've done a lot of work on this rifle. For example, I've put a plumb handguard on it, a real steel one, real steel stock, and I've given it a new paint job. The guy who done this, I'll link him below on his YouTube channel and Instagram. But as you can see, it's got the correct finish as opposed to the E&L's bluer finish. This one's a more of a black paint. Okay, secondly, we are onto the magazines. As you can see, all of these have been converted from real steel. You can tell by the grooves on the back and the rough job at the top. A nice example would include this AK-12 magazine that we've managed to get real steel and converted. They fit nice and snug into the rifle with little to no wobble at all. So all in all, definitely something that would be worth investing in the future if you've got money left over with a finished impression and you want to make it that bit better. Finish off the weapon section, I'd just like to show I've got a Pyrosoft Russian hand grenade here. This is the chalk version, meaning that there's chalk inside and it just blows a load of chalk everywhere, as opposed to BBs. A lot safer for, let's say, non-airsoft events where there's no eye-pro being worn, etc. And lastly, we have here an original Ismash 6x4 bayonet. Removing the blade, you can see here that's got saw teeth there on the back, nice point there. And if you can hook these two together, you can create wire cutters. Okay, moving on. We're now moving on to body armor protection. First of all, what I have here is a size 3 real 6x47 helmet. As you can see here, they show stamps on the inside showing that it's a size 3, it's made by Armorcom, things like that. Not much really to say about it. I'm not packing the cover for this event because we're replicating the 423 during the first few days of the war, and not a lot of them are seen with helmet covers. So that's why this helmet does not have a helmet cover. It features a night vision sight mount on the front and a helmet light rail on the side to mount the Ratnik flashlight. Next lads, we have here 6x45, also original, and I have 2 real granite plates in the front and the back. I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of my pouch setup here, very quick. So firstly here is the IFAK. It's got all the medical contents inside. Nextly, 2 magazine pouches, so carrying a total of 4 magazines in my person. I'm running a commando kit, so I don't need that much fighting equipment. I don't need a whole lot of load bearing equipment. The main focus of this body armor setup are these 2. So I have here for you an ASAR P1 radio and an Orion GPS device. This is used to navigate. This is used to speak to upper echelon and communicate with the platoon. Last 2 things is this utility pouch here, which I like to keep my head torch and my combination tool used to help stop stoppages and clean your rifle. And lastly, we have a grenade pouch where this grenade is kept. Moving on lads, now we're going on to the sustainment side. This is very important, as this is the difference between you being tired, not very useful, not very efficient in the field, to you being an absolute workhorse. Plenty of energy, and especially when you're able to work on little sleep, nutrition, and how much you can cram into your body really comes into play. Starting off, we have a mess tin. This is what you cook, what you eat out of, drink out of. This example is a Soviet one. It features a pan on the top and a bowl on the bottom. Overall, very useful device. Highly recommend getting them. Next up, just a pair of work gloves. Everyone has them lying about and they're really cheap and they're good for what they are. This is the Ratnik 7-litre butt pack. These are usually mounted on the back of the 6x45, which mine will be, but for the sake of this video I have it removed. It's very good, it's where you can carry all of your rations. You can carry a lot of things in this lads, I highly recommend getting them. Here I've got just 4 energy bars, really good for energy, like just a bit of morale, isn't it? Moving on, fuel cooker, S-bit stove with some dragon fuel. You can get these in Tesco's and stuff like that for really cheap. and for what they are, they light in almost any circumstance. Really good, highly recommend getting them and using this. If you want to spend the extra bit of money, I would invest in a jet boil and use gas to cook, but they do cost a lot for what they are, so you've got to think how often will you be doing stuff like this, and is it really an investment that's worth it. Eating utensils, steel spoon, the spoon that came with the ration pack, 2 packs of toilet paper, or blow in your nose, or reserve them for when you need the toilet. You're going to need it, trust me. Toothbrush for cleaning, don't brush your teeth with this, even though in the hygiene kit I would also pack a toothbrush. Disinfectant wipe. Moving on, we have this isn't a 24 hour, this is something I've made myself from the 24 hour. I'll just cram in there for if I'm on the go. It's got 1 meal, a couple drinks, and maybe a snack in there. Not much, but it's enough for if you're out there for a couple hours and you might need it. We have electrolyte drinks, Screech. But these are very good to have if you're feeling tired, you're lacking energy, and you need some electrolytes. Highly recommend just bringing a few of these with you. Just mix it with water, shake it, and you drink it, and you're good to go. That sums up everything, and that will go into my butt pack for this event. All the Sustainment stuff I have, and this also concludes body armor and all the stuff that's going to be carried on my person for this event. Next, we're going to move on to what goes in the 25 litre. Clothing items, stuff to keep you warm, keep you dry when it's wet, and your sleeping system. To start things off, we have here the Layer 8 VKBO first generation winter set. Here are the pants. It's like wearing a sleeping bag essentially. As you can see, you've got a nice warm material in there, nice bit of insulation, and these are quite easy to put on. They have a zip that zips all the way up here to the top, and it can zip all the way down as well, making this extremely easy to put on. I have my suspenders attached to these pants. We have the jacket. The jacket, favoured by many, is essentially the same thing, just a layer of warmth. Keeps you really warm at night time and in the winter months. I don't recommend using this as a sleeping system. This is more for if you're like stationary doing sentry. That's really when you should be wearing this. It features 2 pockets at the bottom. It features 1 pocket on the inside. It features a hood here with elastic, epaulets, and 2 pockets on each arm. We're going to talk about the thermals. These are also first gen VKBO cold weather thermals. They feature these kind of little squares. You're dry when you wear this. They keep you warm as well when it's wet and cold and miserable outside. Highly recommend getting one of these for the price they are. You get them in some places for like 20 euros. I'll have all these like cheap links linked in the description to help you out if you want to set up a kit like this for yourself. It also features the pants. Not much really different here. Same material on the inside, keeps you warm, keeps you dry when it's wet outside. Now we're going to move on to spares, smaller items that I've brought, underwear, things like that. Firstly, we have 2 socks here. These here is a brand called 1000 Miles. These are issued Ukrainian socks for cold weather. As you can see, the 3CY logo here on the side. I have to only bring 2 pairs of socks. I bring like minimum, maximum like 4, bring around 4 pairs, especially if it's wet outside, or if you're going to be sweating a lot. You need to change your socks a lot, otherwise your feet start to get sore. Next up is underwear. I got these bike shorts that I like to use, mainly because they don't really chafe. They go down your leg. The whole idea of it is to stop chafing, because chafing can cause infections, and that can end your event early. T-shirts. I've got 2 spare changes of t-shirts, especially if you're going to be very active in this exercise. I have here tan brown example, and I have here an EMR example. Try and stick to like cotton, things like that. Don't get wool, because wool is heavy, and when it gets wet it gets even heavier. Lastly, this is what I keep everything in. I keep it in the side pouch of the 25 litre. I put all my spares in here. It's very important to keep it dry. If you can't keep your kit dry, you're not going to have a good time. Here's my waterproof jacket / masking suit, because I have a pair of non-waterproof pants in here. Slightly different camo pattern, it's in A-tags, but it keeps me dry when it's wet. And if the terrain changes, like let's say this terrain, this camouflage will do a far better job than EMR. Very thin material, good for summer months, but its main purpose is just to kind of change that colour from EMR to ATAX, let's say. Now I'm going to take you to the sleeping system. Firstly, I'm going to talk to you guys about how my 25 litre is set up and how I can put 48 hours worth of equipment inside without having any issues of accessibility and things like that. The sleeping bag is kept on the outside with this cover. You roll it up, push it inside. Secondly, roll mat also attached on the outside at the bottom of the sleeping bag. Next here's where I keep my waterproofs. This is like a 5 litre, I think, on a 118. The rock, the bigger rock in the Ratnik program. I took it off one of them and I put it on the front of this 25 litre just as a place to keep my waterproofs so they're quick and easy to access when it starts raining. On the outside, I have here 60-30 pouch or 60-50 pouch with the cover for if I need to ditch my bag or if it's raining and I want to keep it dry. I forgot to mention earlier, but this here is a connector for the ASAT radio. Basically, let me do a quick demo for you. You twist off this antenna, and what you do is you would attach it onto this here, like so. What you would then do is take the antenna and attach the antenna to this. This allows you to use your radio from your backpack. Let's say if you're digging, something like that, and you don't want to have the radio stuck on you, like getting in your way, you can just kind of tuck it in that 60-50 pouch, and if you need to speak on it, it's on your backpack, you can go over and use it. And now lastly, the sleeping bag. As you can see, it's got a digiflora pattern on the outside. This is sort of acts as a bivvy, keeping the sleeper dry while he's sleeping. A nice warm inside, similar to the LR8, but probably double the thickness. A massive hood, keeping your head nice and dry and warm when you need to sleep at night. Alright lads, so that wraps up this video. I just want to say a massive thank you to all the support we got on our first video, the ration pack review. We greatly appreciate it and look forward to more videos to come. Also, if you want to find all of our other socials, such as our Discord server, our Instagram and our TikTok, they're all going to be listed here to my right. So that's all lads, thanks for watching.